up so that you can see what's going on. I'm gonna get the shot. This is not gonna get the shot. Let's see. I should have thought this out before I started. I should have thought this out before I started. Before I farted. Was gonna yeah, that would be good. I just don't know. I also got this friggin' cord attached. Really? Now everything's upside down. Thank you. It's gonna fall off. Fuck off. Shit. Fuck. So we're gonna have to move. Going to have to move the charger. Chair. Still can't see nothing. I'll go up here. See up here. Falling. It's negative. What the fuck? Oh my god, I should have done this before I started the stream. I'm fucking 3 minutes and 22 seconds into it, and this is what we got. I think that's what we're doing. Already unplug it. I can't wait to get a real stand for this thing. I got a tablet now that I'm going to try to start using, but I need to get Wi-Fi to use it. So, I don't know if you guys can tell or see, but I have the dash laid out on the table. I removed this vent, and a bunch of dump bee nests started falling out. That's cool. This lower bar here is really friggin' rusty, which is also really nice. Screwdriver's too small. I may have to take a run outside. And get a screwdriver unless I can find one in here. So what I want to do is I want to strip a bunch of the stuff off, clean it up, and get it like prepped I don't have any of the adhesive or anything. But that snap. That's the other thing, I gotta snap all that fucking dry, busted off bullshit out of here. Bye. And I gotta snap the curled up pieces on the top off. And I gotta get some short hair fiberglass or maybe even Bondo, fill up these cracks on the top. I'll take you guys off the thing and show you what I got going on periodically, but for the moment I gotta run outside real quick and grab a screwdriver. You guys just chill out, hold down the fort, I'll be right back. Probably got a screwdriver hidden around here somewhere, but she's hiding it because probably end up taking it by an accident. I need a flathead, but I don't need a flathead. Back. Anybody come in? Negative. Whatever. I guess I'll show it to myself or whoever watches this later. So I just found this in the door. Inside the little card that's and it says, "You are nice, kind, God loves you." So I don't know exactly who left this in the door, but I have an idea. So the next door neighbors, I noticed when she pulled into the parking lot the other day, her brake light was out, and so I told her the brake light was out. After she pulled in her spot, I pulled in right next to her because we park right next to each other. And so I told her she needed a brake light, and she had a bulb in her car, like a spare bulb, but it wasn't the right one. But I, on the other hand, screw right there. Easy to pop that trim off. Does that just pop right off? So her car and my car are kind of similar. So I had some spare bulbs in my glove box. So I donated those, and I put what the brake lights working for. And I know that I don't know like if they're wicked religious or not, but I know they go to the church on the weekends. So I imagine it was one of the kids next door that left that. Kind of brought a tear to my eye, you know. No one really have anything nice to say about me, so kind of uplifted me, I guess. They left that there like a day or two ago, and I feel bad because I haven't ran into them. I haven't been able to say thank you or anything. And the one time I did see him, me and the old lady were kind of, you know, having a little bit of a battle. It happens, you know. We're not perfect. But, so we were kind of battling a little bit out in the front yard. They were out there. We weren't like making a scene, but I wasn't really in the mood to have a conversation with anybody at that point in time. So, yeah, I didn't get a chance to ask them if that was them that left that message for me. And I hope they don't think I'm like this big meanie because I was in a bad mood. I was in a really bad mood. But me and the old lady, we worked it out. We always work it out. You know, we're just like any other couple. We get into arguments just like anybody else. But it's not very often either that we do. If me and her get into an argument, it's because it's something serious, you know. So, this thing's all fucking gaffed up too. Need to get a new trim plate. This thing has like a gold. It's like gold. So I don't know if this had like this came like out of a Y82 car and it had the gold background, but it doesn't have. It's not brushed at all. It's just flat gold. I'm gonna take this push pin and just stick it in there lightly so I don't lose it. I'm gonna push it all the way in, but just a couple rungs. Okay. Put this back over there. Put these screws in here. Flip this back over. Okay, so now we got this vent over here. How does this one held in? Man, oh man, do I need a light? It's got this clip right here. What does that do? Is this? Yeah. By all means, I could probably just leave it in there. Alright, any comments yet? Hey Frankie, how are you? I can't see comments unless I swipe the thing. Yeah, we're doing dashboard games. I'm not gonna be able to see my mug, which is fine. Nobody wants to see my ugly mug anyways. Now that I know some OGs are in here, I will be checking the comments a little more often. I want to take that out, but I need to clean it. It's all dirty. Got this got this fucking clip on it, but I don't know what it does, and I don't want to yank it out. It doesn't do what I think it does. I can't break it either. This is just chilling there, doing nothing. That must be a wire and holder there, but this is something completely different. Hey Bruce, how are ya? Oh, Mittens, Mr. Mittens, Mr. Tigger himself. He's fucking crashed out. You're worrying me there for a second, Bob. Now he's gonna climb up my ass. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Bruce. Brucey, I appreciate it very much. Unfortunately, I won't be doing anything of substance. I'm just trying to clean this fucker out. How the fuck does this come out of here? I'm gonna break it. Watch. I should probably just leave it in and try to clean it as best as I can with it in. The other one come right out. This one's held in a bit differently. Oh, here we go. Just popped right out. Spring loaded. That's what that spring on the top does. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Yeah, get to watch me break shit. I'm going easy, guys. I'm going easy. I need to get some Prepsol solvent, but right now I'm gonna do what I can with what I got. Love me some magnet tip screwdrivers too. After I clean this off, I'll pull the overlay out of the box and lay it on the top for you guys. You can see what's going down. Okay. I think that's about it for all the shit that comes off. Alright, see that right there. I gotta fill that in with short strand fiberglass, a Bondo. I think I'm gonna go with the fiberglass because the Bondo, I really don't know. I don't think it'll stick to that. And I might even have to gut all the foam that's in there. Like foam in here, I might even have to gut that out and make that a big huge fucking dip until it gets to the plastic, because that's not gonna adhere as well. Fucking dead bugs and shit falling out of here, that's nice. What I should do is, I have a compressor, but I don't have a hose. What I should do is I should fucking blow this thing right off. Blow it off. Alright, we have some studs left, that's good. I didn't know that they were still there. Did not know. Let's check that. Yeah, this laser. Like those plastic clips. Yeah, I don't like them either. Oh yeah? Did you do it in that bucket, or you got something else you're driving around, Frank? That bucket you posted up the other day was pretty damn cool, man. Oh man, the old lady's gonna kill me. Alright guys, I'm back. I am back. Not much room, not much room. Soak those vents later. What do we got? Yes, sir. So you did take the bucket. I didn't see was it a video? I think it was just a little walk around. Yeah, it was a walk around. Thought it might have been a pic, but it was definitely a walk around. Okay, so I got just a little bit of warm water and some dishwashing soap. old lady's gonna kill me because I used one of her Tupperware things. It's not the end of the world. She'll get over it. Hopefully. If not, then I'll let her do, I'll let her play with my butt or something. I don't know. The T-Buck is a neighbor of mine's. Stuck on 0. Oh yeah, no, I saw it. What did I see? Was it yesterday or the day before? No, it was a couple days ago. I saw that. Oh, wicked boring stuff, but I didn't make it to the old man's again today. Fucking life ended up happening. So I was supposed to meet up with a guy, and we were going to talk about doing a job, and I was going to look at his vehicle. We were going to do a quote. I'm going to look up some parts for him. And, we're going to order them and go from there. Now, my big rule is, so a lot of the OGs are aware, but for the new people, once upon a time I had a drug habit. Okay. And, actually lost a friendship over what I'm about to tell you about, but we live and we learn. So a while back, I had a guy give me some money for some parts, and I didn't use his money for drugs, but what happened was I was using our money for drugs. And I wasn't paying attention to, what I was withdrawing and shit. And whenever I order parts, I don't have like credit or cards or anything at all. I'm old school. That, and there's other reasons why, but I don't have cards of my own. So, I got an overlay for the dash here. If you stick around when I'm done cleaning this, I'm going to test fit it on so I can see how much of this I got to take down. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to break some of this down so it's not all peeled up. And then I'm going to have to dig some of this foam out, and then I'll fill that in with short strand fiberglass. It spreads like Bondo. And then sand that down, even that down, fill in a couple of the cracks, right? And then I have the overlay over here inside the box over there, and it fits. It fits right over the top of the dash, and it looks good. Show it to you in just a few. So anyways, getting back to the story, so I wasn't paying attention to what I was spending. I put this guy's money in the bank account, her bank account. So that way, I could order the parts, and then our rent came out the following day. And all the kids' money was gone, and whatever we had left, and fucking old lady almost left me over that one because she didn't know what was going on. This is why I love her. This was the thing that got me to like open up to her and tell her what was going on. And said it once, I'll say it again. Broad saved my life, you know. I was in a tough spot. And, normally, people would have just gave up on me, you know. I know I would have. Yeah, I'm glad I got an overlay, and I'm not trying to fix this thing. There's this fucking mean dents in it right there. So I told her what was going on. We got it figured out. So that way we had money to make it through the week until her next payday, and I could fucking get some jobs on. But I had this kid that, you know, his money's gone. He paid my rent. And I've been knowing the kid for a while. And so I told him what was going on. I wasn't bullshitting him or nothing. I told him, listen, man, I might have omitted the drug part, but I told him what happened. I said, you know, I had to deposit the money into the bank account so that way I could order it with the card. But I wasn't aware, you know, I kind of blamed it on her a little bit to try to soften the blow. But I said, she didn't balance the checkbook right. I don't know how to balance a checkbook. It's not my checkbook to balance anyways. And, you know, we weren't expecting the rent to come out when it did. And I told him, you know, what happened? You know, the rent came out and it took your money. It says, but, you know, I'm not going to leave you hanging. You know what I mean? I'm going to do the job for free. And I'm going to get your money back. You know, and then I'll order your shit, and we'll get the job done, right? He was fucking upset. He was pissed. He wanted to fight me right off the bat. It's like, dude, I understand. You know what I mean? I would be pissed too, you know. But and if it was somebody that I didn't know since fucking high school, I would probably be acting the same way. But, you know, I've been knowing this kid since high school. He knows who I am. He knows where I live. And I mean, if I bail on him, he could just show up at my house, which I wouldn't suggest anybody does. But, I mean, he could have, you know. And, you know, he wanted to fight. He kept wanting to fight. It's a long story, but, you know, recently he got out of jail and needed some work done on his truck, and I told him, I said, hey, I still owe you that money, dude. I mean, I've been avoiding you because all you want to do is fight, and I'm not afraid of you. I'll fight you, but it doesn't make any sense, you know. One of us is going to get in trouble, and it's just not worth it. And he agreed to do that, but then I never heard from him again. And all he does is just talk shit and act like I never once tried to make it right, you know. So getting to the point of that story, no, but there was a kid that did try to kill me, and that's what this is all about. This and the scar on my fucking forehead. Kid stabbed me in the forehead, and he got me right here. That separated all my tendons in my hand. I could only move my pinky finger. That was a scary moment. But getting back to the point of that story, because of what happened today. So I don't take deposits. I don't take payment for jobs until they're complete. Unless the person that I'm doing the work for seems kind of sketchy, which, you know, has happened, I will take like half down. And what I'll do is I'll like use it for if I run into needing supplies and shit, but mainly I don't take any kind of payment up front. Because it's ruined friendships in the past, you know. So This guy today, he wanted to fucking throw all kinds of money at me and, just order what we need and, get back to me. I'm like, dude, that's not, I don't want to do it that way. And I didn't want to tell him the story because it's embarrassing and could possibly lose me the job, So I told him, I says, I don't do that. And the way I reasoned it out was I says, all of the warranties and shit for the parts will end up in your name if you order the stuff. If I order the stuff, the warranty is going to be in my name, and then the warranty is going to end up being in my name, and then you'll have to go through me if you need to get anything replaced, and who knows if you fucking move out of state. You know what I mean? So I talked him out of fucking throwing a bunch of money at me, and then what ended up happening was I ended up sitting at his house for like 2 hours looking up parts for this thing. He's got a truck similar to what Gibby has. It's a 3/4 ton or 1 ton Chevy. His is a GMC quad cab pickup, and it needs like a shit ton of front end parts and everything else. So it was kind of good that I looked up the shit because there's like all kinds of options and like all kinds of fine print at the bottom, made for this, made for that. Gay Man Chevy, yep, that's what I call those all the time. So yeah, it was good that I looked the shit up because there was all kinds. He would have been asking me questions all night. So I got all of his stuff figured out. I wonder if that was a build sheet. Paper. Why is there paper in there? So I got all of his parts ordered. That should be coming. Rock Auto usually only takes a few days. A couple of these parts are on back order, so I probably won't see a lot of the stuff until next week. So I got that job set for next weekend. Next weekend I'll be working on a Gay Man Chevy. I really don't have to do this, but I probably should. This is going to take a while. What I need to do is I need to bring this to a car wash. Like a regular car wash. Because they don't have it. If I live close to Jeff, I'd be like, yo, break out the power washer. Low pressure, please. And just fucking hose off the back of this thing instead of fucking trying to clean it off with a goddamn sponge like I am now. But ain't nobody gonna see this, but it'll smell once the car's all together. It'll smell, I'll turn the vents on, a bunch of dust will come flying out. It doesn't have to be perfect, I just want to get the big shit off. Big shit. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just going to touch this up real quick and then because my fucking sponge is falling apart. I think this dash came off of an 81. It's got numbers on it. I think correspond to a 1981 Trans Am. I wonder if it was a Y84 or something. Yeah, Barry. Game Man Chevy. Definitely Barry. Rolled it 20 times. That's what happened to the Firebird, boys. It got rolled 20 times, and the only damage it had was that nose damage, and the crash just made the car rot. I'm telling you guys, that's what happened. No bullshit. I'll have Barry Beamer back it up for me. He'll lie for me. I mean. I wonder what's up with that clown. I haven't looked at his channel in a while. Jeff said something about him making it look like he's cleaning up. He thinks he got into trouble or something, and now he's got to clean up the yard or something. That'd be great. If he got kicked out of there because he fucking destroyed the land. Like, if I had a property like that, not like that, but if I had a property, I'd have a few cars there. You know what I mean? But they wouldn't be sitting in fucking, you know what I mean? If they were like parted out or something like that, I'd have like an area, like just one area where you put like the part out vehicles and, you know, just have gravel or something over it. So that way you park them in there, and then all the nice shit, you know, you have like another area and you park them all nice and neat. So it doesn't look like a fucking shithole. And then, yeah, you know, there wouldn't be trash everywhere. That's another thing. He's got his fucking acetylene torch just fucking sitting out in the weather. Just chilling. No problem. No caps on the bottles, by the way. Either. So all it takes is fucking one of them dogs to lose its mind and fucking freak out and knock one of those bottles over and snap the valve off, and all of a sudden you got a freaking 200-pound projectile or 100-pound projectile full of oxygen or acetylene flying around the yard, going right through Barry's front yard and into the fucking cigarette butt and fucking cat shit collection right next to the PlayStation there. Take out his fucking PlayStation and ruin his life, because that's his life. In real life, he sucks, but in his fake life that he plays on fucking PlayStation, he's supposedly, in his own mind anyways, the man. There's dust out of here. Yeah, I'm taking this thing to a fucking car wash. I'm just gonna... Pretty cleaned up though, and then I can soak those vents later. I'm gonna grab the overlay so you guys can see that. I hope you guys are still in here. Dog with 2 mouths. Yeah, that's true. He's got that one that keeps showing its ass to Barry every time he walks over. I really think Barry fucks that dog. I mean, I know dogs do that as like submission, so it's obviously like been beat or something like that. But the way it fucking sticks its ass out to Barry like that, it just makes me think that he's been fucking the thing. And I wouldn't put it past him either. Sick bastard. Gets the fucking peanut butter out. I forgot to plug this back in. Things probably dying. Hang with me, guys. I'm getting the overlay. There goes the kitty. Dude, it's just a box, man. It's just a box. Chill out. Holy fuck, dude. Talk about skittish. You think I'm gonna put you in the box? So this is the overlay. Oh well, you can see it. And literally, what you have to do is like I said, I gotta prep the dash the way I talked about, and then I gotta lightly sand the dash everywhere. You gotta sand the inside of this where it's all glossy. Get it nice and scuffed up so that the adhesive can, glue to it. And then this bad boy just fits right over. And all of a sudden, you got a brand new dash. This. So yeah, just like that. Nice new dash. Mint. So the only thing is like it's got this where it doesn't cover. I was talking to a guy that does a lot of these, right? And that's the other thing that I gotta get like a bunch of clamps kind of like this. And once I glue it, I gotta fucking clamp it all over the place. But what I gotta do too is I need to get some black dye, or maybe even use semi-gloss paint. And I got a paint in here, right? And the guy I was talking to, he actually said he uses like Bondo or some kind of putty, and fills in that seam and sands it down nice and smooth, and you can't even tell that there's a seam there. And then right here, there's a seam right here. Let me get the light on. There's a seam there. So I gotta fucker. Anyways, I gotta paint that. But a lot of this shit, like, you're not gonna see it. And then like this area here. But I mean, even if I didn't do any of that, yeah. Put you guys back here for a second. And then you can see the top. Stand it up in here. Stand up. Stand up, son of a bitch. Don't fucking fall. Swap it around, get off my ugly mug. Look at that. Fucking mint, dude. Looks like a brand, yeah, it does. It looks like brand new. So, and it comes with yeah, at the bottom of this box. Right at the bottom of this box. My girl's got a fucking, my girl's got some books for you, Richie. Maybe that'll help you out. She's got another one that she paid like $200 for her nursing license. It was either nursing license or pharmacy tech license. She paid a bunch of money for. So yeah, this thing's made by Dash Top. I got it from Ames though, and this is the stuff it comes with. But the guy told me, because like I said, he's done hundreds of these, and he told me to throw this shit away. Told me to throw that shit away and get this 3M 2-part epoxy. I read up on it. It looks like stuff that they use. It looks like stuff that they use to bond body panels together with. So yeah, that fucker will never come off. And for anybody watching this that has one of these cars and they got a cracked up Trans Am dash and they're thinking about getting one of these, but they don't want to take their dashboard out. You don't have to take the dashboard out to install that. You will have to remove some parts. Like you'll have to drop the steering column down and I'm not sure what else. Maybe pull the radio out. But that's meant to install with the dash in the car. Yeah. Richie's a JB. That wouldn't surprise me in the least. This little bag here. My little that's why my weed comes in when I go to the dispenser. But yeah, those things are meant to install while the dash is still in the car. But my dash had to come out anyways. So I'm gonna go all out with it. I might even try to do like he said, and I mean the gaps really don't bother me too much. The gaps don't bother me too much, so I might just, I don't know, because like this gap you're not gonna see at all. The gap on the bottom you might see. Yeah, that's my thought too. But I mean, the gaps really aren't that bad. This one kind of sucks. This gap right here kind of sucks. And it looks like it needs like some adjustment. It's like, for some reason, it's fucking diesel big right here, and it's like up here. So that needs to be like, needs some help. Because that's kind of far away too. Yeah. Yeah. And when I looked it up, it's 70 to 81, so, I don't know. And the cool thing about it is the early Trans Ams, they didn't have this handle thing here. This dash does have the holes for it, but this thing covers those up. And I don't want a handle on the dash over here anyways, because I don't want some idiot fucking pulling on my dashboard. But I wonder if that's because it's sitting on this. I don't know, I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm just noticing this now. That's a fucking huge gap, and it's way up here. I mean, once it's clamped and bonded, but it's still gonna be a huge thing right here. And I don't have, I have the ashtray mount, but I don't have the ashtray to push in there to, so I guess I'm gonna be making a run to Mark. I also need a glove box lid. So before I start gluing anything, I gotta get those two items and make sure they're gonna fit. Fuck. Something's going on. I wonder if I have to knock some of this down or something. Maybe when I'm putting it on, maybe hit it with a heat gun and get it to, because it's like there's a huge gap right here, but this is, I almost want to fucking rip all of the, then that'll probably make matters worse. I said I got a guy that does these all the time. I can give him a call and get some, see if I can get some info out of him, see what he thinks. But I mean, otherwise it fits really good. I'm not too worried about the gaps. Just this one right here. But I mean, once a radio is installed into it, and then, you know, I was almost thinking too, because this dash is like old and fucked. If that gives me too much of a hard time, I don't know if the guy had it 3D printed or not, but I saw that there's a guy, and I have one of these big radios, you know, the big Bluetooth radios. It's almost, and what they did to get that to work was it looks like they fucking cut this whole section out right here. And they made or bought a mounted plate that you mount the radio into and then screw the plate onto here. So if that gives me too much trouble, which is gonna suck because I'll have to cut that up. I mean, I'm not worried about having an ashtray because I never use them anyways. They just hold change. But if it gives me too much of a issue, I might do something like that so I can use my new radio. But if I can get it to work right, they already chopped the fucking thing out for the knobby radio. So, what I'll end up doing there is, if I can get this to fit right, I'll get like, I might even still have the one from my formula. That's the new one. I mean, there's nothing special. That's the box to it. It's just one of them fucking AutoZone specials. But it does Bluetooth. Alright, yeah, I got. This is from my 89 formula, the old Pioneer. I've had this thing for fucking ages. I set you guys down. Old Pioneer Super Tuna. Super Tuna with mayo. This thing still works good, but like, what are you stuck on? What are you stuck on? Bitch. Fuck you stuck on. Breaking shit. Breaking shit. What are you stuck on, you son of a bitch? Why is everything gonna give me a fucking hard time? Got it off. That's the last one. Super Tuna 3. That's gonna fit all sloppy too. Sorry, we don't have good content, really. Just trying to do a little something, you know. Make it to the old man's, like I promised. I'm gonna stab myself in the hand by an accident. I can already see it. Yeah, this radio was in my 89, and then what happens is the face on it, like when you hit a bump, it like loses connection. It was getting aggravating. I can fix it. It was getting aggravating, so I fucking and then I couldn't hook my phone up to it because it didn't have a jack on the front, and I tried to wire in something to the RCA's in the back, and that didn't work. So I got the Bluetooth one. I have to get my hands on some kind of trim piece, but that will work. I have to work on it. I just have to work on it. more time for the Pioneer Super Tuner with mayo. Super Tuner. That's backwards. That is backwards, I think. Is that backwards? No, it's not backwards. Oh, Mike, that's not backwards. I was gonna throw that thing out too. I'm glad I didn't. And like I said, if all else fails, I'll cut a huge hole in this dash because it's not like it's fucking priceless. And I'll put my big radio on it. The only thing that's gonna suck is I'll have to cut a big huge hole in my overlay. Yeah, breaking more shit. It's my fault. Yeah, I blame Gibby too. It's Gibby's fault. Gibby's a good guy. He really is a good guy. And there is another way of going about doing this. It costs so much money, dude. I priced it out. They have videos on YouTube. You send them your dash, and they strip all the old bullshit off of it, and they put it in a fucking vacuum like type machine, and they, just like they did at the factory, they fucking vacuum seal another like cover onto it, but it's not plastic like this. It's like, you know, the original. But I priced it out. It was like fucking $1,700 with shipping and everything else. Fuck that. Fuck that all the way. And this dash overlay only costed $189. So I think I made the right choice in the end. I think I made the right choice in the end. I gotta start doing something with this because the old lady's getting upset with me having shit everywhere. I already got one side of the bed, the over the shelf, just full of car parts. So all the interior pieces are in boxes. My gauge cluster and everything. That's the other thing I gotta been studying up on those I've been studying up on those tech manuals, and I'm trying to figure out that wiring diagram schematic. I think I'm just gonna go off of, because it's got, I don't know if I explained this before, but it's got like the wiring diagram, and then It's got like a diagram of the plug, non-rally and then rally, and it's got all the pins numbered and what they're supposed to go to and shit. And I think the color of the wires is laid out. But when you follow the diagram to the circuit that it goes to, it's like it doesn't match up to the fucking plug. So the guy that built the cluster for me told me he'd walk me through it. I'm pretty good with wiring, but I spent a lot of money on that fucking instrument cluster. So bad dash. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to fucking burn the thing up, you know? That would be horrible. But he said when it comes time, just let me know. I'll work through it. I think I'm gonna do it sooner than later, like before I break the car down. I want to see that shit work. The car runs and everything. It's got a coolant temp sensor in the head. It's got oil pressure sensor. All that shit's wired under the hood. So I think I might get that plug rewired so I can plug my cluster into it, and then see how all that shit works. The only thing is maybe I'll have to bring the dash down so I can just kind of set it in there, and then it's either that or I just fucking have the thing. I have the thing just hanging off the wires, but I don't know. I'm probably rushing myself because I'm looking for things to do on this car. Because I'm at a fucking standstill. One, until I get these parts. And two, when the roof gets done on the house. When I was over there the other day, I was ready to start the car up and move it back. And the old man was like, "Oh." One, because there was an issue with the financing, but they're originally gonna start it at the middle of the month because they were gonna cancel his homeowner's insurance, and he needed it done by the end of the month. Well, I got on the phone and talked to some people, and they were like, "Oh no, if you can find a way to get financing and get a contract set up, with a contractor, and like, there's already like a payment and everything, they'll extend the date for the homeowner's insurance." So that's what he's done so far. He's got the job paid for. The guy's getting material. And they're going to be dropping off a dumpster over there probably around the 19th. I'm not sure. And the guy says that they're going to have both roofs done in 3 days. I don't see that happening because it's a really old house, especially the garage. The garage used to be a barn back in the day. But once they start dismantling that roof, and yeah, it is freaking. I forget what he said it was. It's like 50 grand altogether, do everything. And then because my old man's credit score went down when he lost his job like 2 years ago. He used to be a manager over at Walgreens, and he was coming up on retirement age because he'd been working there for so long. And they separated him from the company. That's just their way of fucking firing somebody before they get on retirement age, so they don't have to pay for all of his bullshit, for all the stuff, So when that happened, he had a couple credit cards out, and they went into collection, and that fucking made his credit score nosedive. So he couldn't get the financing on the roof by himself, and he was trying to avoid taking out more a loan on the mortgage because he's his interest rate right now is only like 3%, which is unheard of. Um, and that's just because he got it at a time when the housing market was low. When we got the house, it was in disrepair. Um, I think I've told that story before. But anyways, so he couldn't get the financing by himself. We were gonna, my girl was gonna, me and her were gonna put up like 5 grand to put a down payment on it to see if he could get the financing. But my sister, who lives on the second floor, she stepped in and yeah, I need to get a new shirt. This thing's fucked. She stepped in and put some more money up, and so they're gonna originally they were gonna do like all the soffits and everything around the sides because they're all fucked, and the gutters are all fucked. So originally they were gonna do like everything except for the chimneys that need to be done. What I was gonna do is the main chimney is falling apart at the top, like the bricks are all loose. But when it was built in like the 1800s and shit, the late 1800s. So it's taller than it needs to be. So they were saying that I could take 4 rows off the top of the chimney, and that would actually get rid of all the loose bricks. So that's what I was originally gonna do, but I have a feeling that they're gonna start tearing that thing apart, and they're gonna run into all kinds of problems. One, the house was, like I said, built in the late 1800s. Um, I'm no carpenter, so I really don't know shit about shit when it comes to that. But with talking to people, I guess the way they build houses now when they do the trusses, they space them 12 feet off center, if that sounds right. And back in the day, they didn't do that. So I guess like there's trusses that are like, I don't know, 8 feet apart, and then there'll be a couple that are like 9 feet apart or something like that. And what he was saying is because it's all slats, it's not, plywood underneath the shingles. It's all slats on the main part of the house. Anyways, the rest of the house is all additions. There's like a main part of the house that was original. The rest of it's all additions. I believe, I'm almost positive, all the additions have plywood. My phone's dying. Give me a second. So the main house is going to have slats, and what's going to happen is if they pull all the slats up and try to replace the slats with plywood, they're going to come to a joint that isn't going to have a joist there. Not a joist. I can't remember the word. The truss won't be there. So what the roofer was talking about with me was they were going to leave all the slats down and just put the plywood right over the slats and just screw it or nail it or whatever right to the slats after the shingle's been peeled off. Well, I have a feeling, because I know for a fact that roof hasn't been done in my lifetime, and I'm 41 years old. So I have a feeling that they're going to start poking around on the roof, and they're going to find a bunch more problems. It's kind of like when you're working with a car. like when I was working with my car. I thought the parts run that I made was gonna cover it, and then I started taking more shit apart and looking deeper, and I found out I needed more shit. Same thing with anything else, you know. You start digging into it, and you see underneath where you can't normally see, you get problems. So, guy says 3 days to do both roofs, and I call bullshit. But if you can do it in 3 days, fucking best of luck to you. Please do it, because I want to get started on taking apart my car. That's why I got all these little side projects here that I'm working on with like the dash and everything else. Yeah, once that's taken care of, I gotta finish clearing out the garage, and then I'm gonna move the car in front of the garage, probably nose first, and then I'm gonna start disassembling it. The only thing is I won't be able to separate the subframe from the body until I get like an engine hoist or something, because I gotta do it right. I don't want the car to lose its shape, and then when I put the car back together, it fucking, you know what I mean? Dog legs down the road, you know? At that point, I'll just give up on the fucking thing. That's partially why I got the whole floor panel in one piece, because it comes with the mounts for the front of the leaf springs as part of the floor. And where it attaches in the back, it attaches right at the factory seam. So all I gotta do is clear off all that seam sealer and then drill out all the spot welds. And then I can peel that section up in the back, and then I'll cut around where the rockers are. I'll cut them out wide, just so I can get the centerpiece of the floor out, and then I'll trim it as I go to make the floor fit. Because up front, it doesn't go where a seam goes. It goes up past the seam. The floor panel I got goes up higher into the firewall, which is actually really good, because when I was looking at the car yesterday, the floor is rotted up like almost into the firewall. It's behind the mount that I was gonna build a jack stand to fit in that subframe mount, but the floor is all rotted behind it. I don't know how bad it is. So if I do that, you know, all that weight sitting on there could tear it off, you know, especially after I cut the floor out of it. So I got to find another game plan for that, and that's where the engine hoist comes in handy, because I'll just stick the engine hoist in front of the car with a chain, and I'll dangle the front of it from the chain. So when I go to do the floor, I'm gonna try to get that out and in one day. Try to start it like early in the morning and finish it by that evening, or at least, you know, get it braced up and then cut out, and then go from there. This fucking vent don't open. That's nice. Why don't it open? There's not even a thing to open it. I don't want to break it. I don't know. I guess I gotta clean it. What the fuck's going on? It's all rusty and shit. Yeah. I have to let it soak. This one works though. Feels pretty good. There's a trim piece too. So I could pop this out and I could clean this and paint it. Yeah, the whole thing's gonna be a mission, bub. The whole thing. But I'm up for it, you know. I am up for it. Freaking dying for a fucking smoke, man. Goes like this. Yeah. Stop there. We'll leave it together for now. Anyways. So yeah, I guess we're on for an hour and a half already, and didn't really get much done, but good to say hi to a couple buddies, you know. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna shut it down for now. I'm gonna try to get my hands on some supplies this weekend, and maybe I can get started on that dash next week, because I'm going to Harbor Freight tomorrow. I gotta get a light. It destroyed my freaking drop light forever ago, and I haven't had one, so I need a fucking light. So while I'm there, I'm gonna see if they got those clamps and shit. See, and I don't know if Harbor Freight sells like epoxy and stuff, but let's see what they got over there. That's it. Right there's that other scar I was talking about from earlier when that kid stabbed me in the face. When he stabbed me, I had my arm up like this, and that's where he caught me. And it's not really showing up, but there's a scar there, and then this scar right here that looks like a Z. That's from the surgery when they put my tendons back together. Yeah, that's the. I was just showing up this one right here. So I had my arm up like this, and he caught me in the face. And when he swiped down, he caught me in the face, and he caught the end of my arm. And then I grabbed him up, and he had his hands down by his side, and he got me to let go because he had the knife still in his hand. I didn't even know I was stabbed yet. I thought he punched me in the head. And he come up and he got me with this one right here. This one right here. And it severed all the tendons in my hand. So I could only move my pinky finger. And now, like you can see when I close my hand, how the tendons are like getting stuck in here. So you can see how it like pulls on it. So I can't make a tight fist. Like I'm making it as tight as I can, and I mean I could still put a finger in there. Oh yeah, dude, I was leaking all over the place. At the time, I was driving a Jeep Wrangler with a 5-speed, and right after it happened, right after it happened. So what happened was is he cut me here, and then I stood back, and I could see my arm was just fucking open like this. You could see like all the meat and everything in there, and it just fucking shocked me. And he was focused on my head. This was opened up like this. You could see my skull, and so he was like stunned looking at my head, and I just fucking I like capitalized on it. Bah! Knocked him right out cold. And then I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I was like a couple blocks away from my house. So I hopped in the Jeep with the 5-speed and trying to fucking drive that thing with one hand on the way, trying to go home. And I'm fucking leaking everywhere and passing out behind the wheel and shit. I get to my house. I was living with the old man at the time over at the house over there. And I get to the front porch, and my aunt was living on the second floor at the time. And I knew she was home. I didn't think to grab my keys or anything. Fucking, I just stumbled out of the Jeep and fucking made my way to the front of the house. And I got to the front porch and I fucking started kicking the door. And then I just fucking collapsed right there on the front porch. And she opens the door and fucking, she sees me all fucking bundled up on the fucking front porch with my fucking head fucking wide open. And that was a mess. And then I didn't snitch on the kid because I wanted to catch him. I wanted to fucking catch him on the street on my own. But people had seen what had happened, and the cops went to his house. And when they found him, he was in the shower with all of his clothes on because he had blood all over him. And he's fucking in the shower, fucking trying to clean all his blood off of him. They hooked and booked him right there. And then when it came time for like court and all that, I wouldn't cooperate with him because I was going to catch this prick on the street. And without saying too much, I caught him. So, I don't really want to get into the story of what happened there, but I got mine. I actually had a buddy with me. He had a buddy with him when I ran into him. I ran into him at the old Galleria Mall before they tore it down out in Taunton. And, yeah. My buddy kept an eye on his buddy, and me and him had it out right there in the parking lot. Yeah, I definitely got lucky because I was worried about my hand because my hands are my livelihood. You know, I couldn't use my hand for almost a year. Mainly because in the middle of all that, I had like some court shit going on, and I owed the court some money on some fines. Anytime I really been in court is because of driving without a license or something like that, some kind of driving infraction. And that particular one was for driving without a license, and they continued the case, and I had to pay probation and all that, and I didn't have any money, I wasn't paying it. So they brought me in, they were like, oh, you got to pay this, and this got dragged out, and they kept adding to it, and it was like at that point I said to the judges, I don't have money to pay this, and I can't do community service, so I don't know. And he said, well, I guess your only other option is to do the time. So I did like 4.5 months over $300. Yeah. They're letting people out of jail on a promissory note for fucking stabbing people and shit nowadays. And robbing stores and all that, all the crazy shit that's going on nowadays, and they're just letting people walk. Well, back in 2014, I went to jail for like 3.5, almost 4 months because I owed the court $300. Yeah. But what happened with that is this had just happened, and I was going to physical therapy, and if I was able to finish my physical therapy, I'd have full range of motion in my hand right now. My fucking, because they reattached my tendons with these metal connection things. I think the doctor even said they're along the same lines as a stent, except like I don't know. It's weird. It's a connector. It's almost like a wire connector, like a butt connector, like the metal piece inside of a butt connector, and they crimp them together to hold your tendons together, and that's what's catching on my wrist whenever I close my hands. But
I'd started the physical therapy before I went in, and I had like this paper that they sent me home with some exercises I could do at home, and I had memorized. You can't bring anything in with you, but I had memorized a bunch of the exercises. So I'm fucking doing hand exercises on the end of the bunk and shit while I'm there, and I got fucking sheets stretched out. Fucking Bunky thought I was trying to hang myself, and I'm like, no, I'm not trying to hang myself. But I'm fucking trying to stretch my hand out as best as I can. That's the other thing. My wrist, like my range of motion of my wrist. Like, yeah, I can do that. I can't. It's like literally as far as I can go. Um, so I was able to get this on my own, and I was worried the whole time that I was gonna lose. My left hand was gonna be fucked. I mean, it still is, but I can use it. I just can't put a lot of pressure on it. And then from this scar over, it's all like numb because it caught not a tendon, a nerve, like a nerve package, and they say that your nerves grow back like a certain number of millimeters every year. And this happened in 2014, and I still don't have any like real feeling. Like I can feel, but it's like it feels like if you sit on your foot for a long time and you get those pins and needles, and then the blood starts coming back in, and it's like right when the pins and needles stop, and you just got that numb feeling before everything comes back. That's what my hand feels like all the time. So I still got that issue. Yeah, $100 a month. I think they broke it down. It was like fucking $30 a day. No, it wasn't $30 a day. It was like $3 a day or some shit like that. It was crazy. But at that point, I had nothing but time, and it also kind of helped me with my along my sobriety journey because I wasn't able to, fuck off while I was in there. Of course, the first thing I did when I got out was fuck off, but um, that didn't last too long. Um, this broad here ended up leaving me shortly after, and then yeah, don't ever do that. Don't ever, even if you're married, unless it's your kid or family member you really love. Don't put nobody else's name on your body. What I want to do is I want to see if somebody can do in red ink, put like a void stamp over it. You know what I mean? Um, I haven't found anybody that could do that. But yeah, she ended up leaving me, and then a couple of years later, me and my girl I'm with now ended up getting together, and I did another stint in jail for a couple months, um, driving without a license, and at that time I was like a habitual offender, and I had broken my probation or whatever, so it was like mandatory that I had to do some jail time. So I did that, and then this time when I came out, I had Dawn, picking me up from jail, and not people that, you know what I mean. When I got picked up the last time, and I started in on another run, they had the shit in the car waiting for me. You know what I mean? I had Dawn pick me up, and um, I went back to her place, and I ain't gonna lie, after like a week or so, I ended up getting hooked up with one of the people I was getting the shit from, and I fucked up for a little bit, and then she ended up finding out what was going on with me, and then I moved out of where I was at. I moved out of the old man's house and moved in with her because it's like an hour, 45 minutes on a bad day, 35 on a good day to her house to where the old man's is. So basically, I got away from all of the bad influences, and I started detoxing real hard, and then I ended up getting on the methadone clinic, and there's always a stigma about that place, methadone mile and all that. So that's why I never fucked with it before, but I wish I did a lot sooner, because it was like I was fucking dying the day I went in there. Like, withdrawal was so fucking bad. If anybody's been through it, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I wanted to stick a fucking screwdriver in my temple. It was so bad. Um, so I went there and I got dosed that first day, and like it killed all of my it killed like all of my withdrawal symptoms. I still had a problem sleeping for a while, but it killed all the withdrawal symptoms. I was able to function. I wasn't a fucking agitated prick all the time. And then from there, I was able to straighten my ass out, and I've been good ever since. That's I don't even know how long, because I don't count the days like a lot of guys do. With their chips and everything. Because before, in the past, I would do that, and it would be like, oh, I made it a year, I should celebrate, you know, and then I don't drink, so, and I can't just fucking, so, I can't just stop at a joint, you know what I mean? So, nowadays I can, but back then, I didn't have the mindset for it. Honestly, in that situation, you really have to want to do it. And situation I was at, it was like I had to do it. I had to do it because I wanted to get my kids back in my life, and I was sick of fucking bouncing around from here to there, never having my own shit. Fucking, working for other people, building everybody else's hot rods. I wanted one of my own. I could never have one 'cause I'm always spending money on fucking bullshit. So things are a lot better now. Things are definitely a lot better now, and I have her to thank for a lot of it. I guess that's my story for the night. I gotta be careful on what I talk about on here though, because my son told me he told his buddies about the channel at school, and he said a couple of them subbed to me because they liked the car. So hopefully they don't see this and fucking start giving him shit. But I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I talk about this all the time because I still go to the clinic. I'm still on a low dose. I basically use it for pain management now. Eventually, I'm gonna end up done because I'm only on 10 milligrams. I was up to like 120, and then after a while, I started weaning down. Um, now I'm still using it, but basically for like pain management. But I don't even need it. You know, they get I get what's called take homes. I get my dose for the week, and so some days I don't even take it. I have to bring the bottles back, but what I'll do is I'll empty the bottle into something else, and I'll bring the bottles back, and I'll have a shot for another day. But yeah, no, I'm glad I got it together too. I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't. Definitely wouldn't be here right now. I'd be either in a jail cell or in a fucking grave. Actually, not in a grave because I want to be cremated. I don't like the idea of decomposition and all that. Rather than just burn me up and spread my ashes, Alright, well, I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me fucking clean my fingernails out and talk about my fucking, my life, but, girl's gonna be home soon. I gotta make something to eat. I've been pushing that off. I need to eat something. So, I'm gonna end it here. Frank, I appreciate you coming by and hanging out from start to end. Anybody else who stopped in? I think Gibby was in here for a little while. Bruce was in here for a little while. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all 200 and I think 14 subs I have now. Please like and subscribe. I don't want to be that YouTuber guy that says that shit all the time, but I really would like to make it to 500. Oh, 220. I'm at 220. I'm Matt 220. Fuck Rich 220. I'm Matt 220. But yeah, I'd like to make it to 500 so I can I don't know, maybe try doing what Jeff's got going on, any money I can make off of this thing will go right into the car. So that'll kind of speed things up, with tools and shit. I'm going to be getting a hold of our good friend Dizzy soon because I still got another 3 weeks to wait for Ames. So I think I'm going to go see Dizzy sooner than later because if I get some of those tools he's got for me, I can do other things. But, yeah. We're done for now. Until the next one. Appreciate you guys.